Welcome to the Snobs podcast.
Set it up, and I forgot to put us in. Welcome to the Snobs podcast. It is Friday night, 8 p.m. Thank you so much for joining us. Usually I'm today. I hope you're all doing. I hope you're snobberific. We're here. We have a very special guest coming on tonight, and we're gonna have a really great time with that. I'm so excited. And Paul, welcome. Thank you, producer Paul, for joining in. How you doing?
Absolutely. I'm doing good. I'm excited to be here. Excited to just cheer up and talk movie talk, especially with Jordan, man.
Yes,
it's going to be an interesting night.
So the cool thing, our guest tonight is Jordan Miller. He knows so much about filmmaking, and there's so many aspects: director, editor, cinematographer. He's worked sound. The list goes on. He does it all, and he's fantastic at it. He understands the craft. It's fun to watch his stuff. He has a new movie out called The Only Ones. Go check that out. It is fantastic. I got to see it when we did Carolina Fear Fest. It won there, as rightfully so. It was just such a good movie. I had to abstain personally because I think I had to abstain from my vote, but I heavily urged. I was like, this is a movie that needs to be here because he deserves it. Yeah, I'm super excited for it. And to talk cinematography, which I love, and I've been like all week consuming scenes and movies that I love just to kind of feel like all of that again, watching, feeling, having that same watch. So I'm so excited to talk about it. But before we get started, we have, of course, to do our review. But before that, I want to ask you a quick question, Paul. Why'd you take the sunglasses off, huh?
I don't know. You made
before we got live, our good buddy Paul had some sunglasses on. I said, "What you doing, Paul?" He goes, "I'm trying something new." Yeah, so keep them on.
Okay.
I'm not going to let you not try something new. Look at this. He's got his Trick or Treat shirt on, which works. He's styling and profiling. He's got a Slasher 15 hat on, which is fantastic, and you can go buy it from them too, because Slasher 15's off. And then, of course, he's wearing his sunglasses now. So producer Paul is truly a producer. He sits there with his sunglasses on and kind of does. You know how I feel about producers.
Move that light to the right.
That's not what a producer does, because cinematographer would cut his hand off. It's all a collaboration. You got to trust. Well, a bad producer, a good producer, would trust himself.
I suggest you do your job better. Move the light. No.
Don't ever say that. Don't ever say that. And I'll let Jordan.
Please don't.
We get started, when we bring him in, because I cannot. We'll do our top 5. We have some reviews to do. We're going to start our movie review of Him, the new Justin Tipping movie. This is his second film. It's produced by Jordan Peele. It stars Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Wither, and they play football players. Marlon Wayans plays the aging veteran, the GOAT, as you will, like the best player in the league. And Tyreek Withers plays a young prospect coming up who's being looked at by the same team to possibly replace him. And so he goes to train with them so they can work together and kind of feel each other out and things like that. And it gets bizarre from there. It's definitely a horror film. I have to say, I think you can tell by my rating, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. What did you give?
I did a 3, so I don't think we were too far off. I think,
Yeah,
it's a 3. Yeah.
I know you weren't such a huge fan. I can't wait to get into it with you. For me, this is one that I think technically was beautiful film. Was just truly fantastic. It looks fantastic. The sound is just, you completely, like in the theater, I felt immersed in that whole compound that they were in because of the sound really had me in there. And the claustrophobic feel, the cinematography inside the compound. And then when it's very freeing, when you're outside, you have this beautiful sky, this beautiful grass on the football field. It feels just fantastic. It feels like a Jordan Peele movie in a lot of ways in terms of look. Now, and so that fits right in with the Monkey Paw sort of style. A bunch of the different productions they do, they all sort of have that thing that kind of connects, makes it, maybe look, sound, things like. But I have to tell you, I know a lot of people are finding this story a problem. I really liked it. I don't see the big issue with this. How about you though? I know you weren't too keen on the story.
Yeah. So for me, it was just the ending, and I'm not sitting here saying they did it necessarily wrong. I understand, without any spoilers, that they wanted to be a little different and to kind of change it up. And it did make sense. But for me, unfortunately, if you're going to change how the ending of a movie like this usually will go, you need to make it wow. You need to make it make sense. It didn't make sense to me that he went through so many different things and all this just to come out and be like, and kind of choose the opposite of everything he had been building up to. Because with how they built his character, it just didn't seem to make the absolute most sense that why would you not?
I get that.
Yeah.
If I could interject on that point for a second, and this is what I took from it. A lot of people are complaining, like, why is he reacting? Doesn't seem like he has full reactions to all the horrors that are going on. Why at the end is he very, like, sort of like you said, stoic? I mean, it is, all of the context is there throughout the movie that he has brain damage,
Right?
And they don't care about that, and his reactions are very subdued because they even said, like, he feels like he's hallucinating most times, so he takes a beat before to see if like what he's seeing is real. And honestly, like, the moment he had that realization that his father is in on it, or was in on it in some way, I completely understood the turn. When he was looking at that picture, that's when it felt like the turn came for me, where he was just like, I don't have to be what they want, because he already saw what it does.
Right.
He saw who you become in Marlon Wayans. Like, I felt like that was a really good addition to it. Like, having them come together. So just to that's sort of what I took from it personally. What else about the film did you like or not?
I mean, visually it was absolutely beautiful, and I thought the performance by both of them was outstanding. It was probably my favorite one with Waylon in it. I loved it. He's just so intense. He's great. I think he's only gotten better with his age. I do think the problem is when they advertised it, they made sure to show that Jordan Peele was attached to it somehow. And it's been almost annoying how many people are like, have you seen the new Jordan Peele movie? And I'm like, it's not a Jordan film movie. It's a production he's a part of, but it's not his movie, because I feel like you need to separate it. And I feel like to an extent they knew people would just see Jordan Peele, then associate Jordan Peele with this period. And I feel like that was kind of a cop out for a lot of the scene they got. And I know they've gotten a lot of slack for it because they're like, no, but yeah.
But even adding to that, with Justin Tippin being the director of the movie, and again, his second film, this is a phenomenal looking film. Now, granted, when you have the money behind you, but like, you're still got to make the movie. You still have to make it good. And it looks like they had all the parts right, and it hit on all levels. Like, every time, like, you had a callback to it. It's a very cerebral film. You have to think about this. This is one I think people need to see more than once. And I honestly, there's a lot that I need to uncover and understand about, like, nuances of the film, as in black football players and black sports stars in general, and how they're treated, and generally in pro sports. So that's something that I need to look into, because I feel like there's another added layer. But overall, like, again, is it the perfect movie? No, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. A lot of the issues that I had with it were, it went a little too far with the hallucinations, or playing up the hoop. I felt that detracted from the story a little bit, because by the time you get to that end, you're like, oh, but that wasn't an hallucination. Was this so what is the actual, some of them you have to question. And again, why I say you should go back and see it again. Maybe I'll see it again and it'll give me a different view. But when seeing it the first time, I don't feel like you can confuse your audience in that way too much, or it's going to take them out. And it did at times, and generally it was Marlon Wayans that pulled me right back in. His character would do something, and I'd just be like, wow, like, this performance is just, it's hitting perfectly. But yeah, overall, like, and the performances outside of Marlon Wayans and Tyreek Withers, they were okay. It was a little soft comparatively to what we were getting from these two. Like, it wasn't really on the same level all the time. I think you could have, like the owner of the team, the manager, Tim Heidecker is a fine comedian, don't get me wrong, but I just didn't feel like he worked in this role as the agent, or the manager rather. But otherwise, there was, I had no problems with it. I thought it was really good. I'm going to check it out again and probably try and figure it out. But how about you? You think this one that you'll check out again?
I think if a friend comes over or something like that, and it's like, oh, do you have it? Like, I'm still going to get it, because visually it was a good movie, and it still was a 3 out of 5. But I don't think I'll watch it on my own account. I think I'd watch it again with someone.
Okay. That makes sense. All right. Well, that's our rating for. What out of 5? What do you give it?
3 out of 5.
3 out of 5. That's just want to make sure again. So again, 3.5 out of 5. But thanks for watching this review. Let's get to our next one, which, by the way, to no surprise, one battle after another, in my opinion, is the best film of the year so far. I got to see this today, and I love Paul Thomas Anderson. I don't love everything Paul Thomas Anderson. I didn't like Licorice Pizza. I mean, it looked good. It was fun. It's just, I didn't love the story. And there's a few others where it's like, this is really good, but the story kind of lagged, But this movie, one battle after another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Regina Hall was fantastic in this movie. Tiana Taylor is great. Sean Penn, who as a human being I'm not a fan of, but like in this movie just delivers a fantastic performance. And the whole story centers around revolutionaries here in America during basically an occupation, not unlike, not to get political, but not unlike we're seeing build. So, and my point to that is it's very contemporary in its themes. You know, we understand this. And Tiana Taylor and Leonardo DiCaprio are these revolutionaries for this band called the French 75, who go out, are trying to take down the police state with every little thing they can, every little battle that they can. And once they have a baby, DiCaprio decides to leave. Tiana Taylor gets kind of meddled into it a little bit deeper with Sean Penn's character, and kind of has to flee. So when she flees, the daughter gets taken 16 years later as a teenager, and now Leonardo DiCaprio has to hop back into the fight to try and find her. I'm not doing this story any justice, but I'm also trying not to give too much away. Hands down, my favorite film of the year so far. From beginning to end, I'm glued to the screen. Everything in this film looks beautiful. It plays beautifully. It works it's just such a well-written story that falls right into each scene, falls right into the next, and it floored me with how good this movie is. I think the only other one I gave a 5 this year might have been Sinners. I have to go back and double check whether it was 4.5 or a 5, but 5 out of 5, one battle after the other, was just truly fantastic. And again, this is one that I don't want to spoil too much. Like, I know him's been out a couple of weeks, but like with this one, go see it this weekend. It is 1,000% worth it. It just really, it doesn't make you feel too much anxiety of what's going on. It really invites you in to these characters a lot, which a great movie. Like, Paul Thomas Anderson is really great at doing films. Like Phantom Thread was one where like you just felt invited into these characters' lives to see what was going on. And I love that. It is a sort of not an easy feel, because there's a lot of stuff you're seeing on screen that are will make you feel some things. I'll just say that. But once you do feel them, you understand like the nuance in the story and the context that they're trying to cover in terms of not just what's going on in society and passing a message along or the theme, but like really focus on these characters and what's happening. And there's a lot of stories that can get muddled and stay away from. Like, I feel like him even sometimes got away from the character, and who the characters were, but not this. From beginning to end, everything feels natural within what's going on with these characters. I absolutely love that. I mean, I could go on technically about how great it is, but if you're a Paul Thomas Anderson fan, you know how it is. He's one of the best filmmakers, in my opinion, ever. So this is one that if you are a fan, definitely go see in theaters. If you're not a fan, but you do like a good drama thriller, this is it for you. It has some good comedy in it too. Benicio del Toro, special mention. Yeah. He has a short role in it, but he does fantastic. That's my review. One battle. But guess what, guys? Guess what, Paul?
I got a question for you.
Oh, what's the question?
Can I talk about Jordan just for 1 second before we bring him on?
No.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I got the pleasure of working with him on Bloody Summer Camp 2. I was a PA there. And, I was very upfront with him and the other cinematographer about, am I allowed to ask you guys questions? And they both were very generous in answering all of them. And I will say Jordan was so helpful with, hey, why are we putting the lights over here? Why are we shooting like this? And he's just a great human being, because he didn't have to tell me anything. He's there to do a job, and he definitely gave me a wealth of knowledge. And I just want to preference that to you guys. Jordan's just a great human on screen, off screen, and I learned a lot.
Well, take it away and introduce him, my friend.
All right, without further ado, the great, the miraculous, perfect, almost Jordan Miller.
I forgot to put in an regular. Jordan, welcome. How you doing, man?
Doing great. That was the most ridiculous over the top hat.
And we're going to keep doing it.
Worthy.
You're here with us for a little while, and we're going to keep praising. We're going to have to.
I'm here, man.
One thing I want to say, not just with being a filmmaker, also a musician, also has a great podcast called Camp Night. So if you are looking for a really good, not even a really good, a really great horse, go check there. And Jordan, welcome to the show, man. Thank you so much for joining in with us. Yeah, man, absolutely. Well, I figure we'll start with our top 5. I went with something a little bit different. I wanted to go with scenes of cinematography. And I thought that would be a fun one to hear from a great cinematographer himself and what his choices will be. And Paul. you know. So I figure we kick it off a little bit. What we do here is we all go around, do our fives, do our fours, do our threes. So if you would kick us off, Jordan, what is your number 5 in cinematography?
Prep by like I
That's
just
fine.
they are in this order, no, better or worse. Let's start with let's go with The Lighthouse. That's like I think one of the movies I think is one of the best movies. And I think the cinematography is really interesting. Obviously, it's Robert Eggers who made Jaron Blask is the cinematographer, also shot The Witch with Eggers, so working times. But yeah, The Lighthouse is great. I think it's the aspect ratio is obviously a great choice to go like 4:3, like square kind of aspect ratio instead of going cinematic wide. But also just like the choices of lenses and the lighting and the look of it, the fact that you could like put it next to something shot in like the 40, you couldn't tell if you didn't know who the actors were, which one was shot now and which one was shot then. I just think it's a beautiful.
Yeah, Eggers, his whole team, everything they do is just fantastic. But I see with The Lighthouse what you're saying too, because it did have like a very claustrophobic feel the entire time.
Yeah, and honestly, like I think you could pick any of the Eggers movies and they could all have a spot on this list. Nosferatu is so beautiful. I think The Northman is like actually maybe my favorite Eggers movie because every shot in the North. But I don't know. I just went with The Lighthouse. Kind of wacky Eggers.
There's no argument here from me. I think that's a great choice. Paul, what's your number 5?
I don't even want to say it now. So my number 5 is 2001: Space Odyssey. I went with the light speed scene.
Heck yeah.
With the practical effects. Like I just think that's absolutely stunning. Like I
thought about that putting that movie on my. That one definitely was like the rates.
You know what? I'll talk to you about it after. But Escape from New York, keep that in mind because I do want to ask you a question. But on my number 5, I went with The Searchers, the final scene with Ethan, played by John Wayne. It was Winston Seahawk, who was a longtime collaborator with John Ford. But it's just that scene. I picked these movies based on how they made me feel when I see them, and just the framing, what it meant, how deep it was. It floors me every time.
Yeah, The Searchers is iconic. Yeah. What a great
number 4. What you got from number 4?
I'm gonna ride that wave you just started with this kind of West. No Country for Old Men. Coen Brothers movie. Roger Deakins shot it. He's probably my favorite greatest cinematographers ever shoot a damn movie. And there's something about this movie that's just so dark. Like it's a brooding, dark, bleak movie already. The cinematography is so pretty but so dark and shadowy. There's something about the way Deakins shoots stuff where he never overlight. He's really like there's always shadows kind of overtaking the amount of light on camera, especially in this movie. And every time it's kind of on one of those like live Amazon channels, I like see it and it's just like, damn, now I'm sitting here for 2 hours watching this whole movie.
Total remote dropper for sure.
Yeah. It's so intense too because there's like no music, so just everything like the movie has to operate on like really high levels because it's like missing a gigantic fact of what we're expecting out of it.
Yeah. Oh man, that's such a great pick. Oh, I love that freaking movie. And Deakins was somebody who is on my list. He's my favorite as well.
He's the best.
And just thinking about which one of his like movies or scenes would be in this. There is one, but I had to go by pure feeling.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I can't just pick like every movie he does.
I know, yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. Deakins too. If you ever get a chance, Team Deakins, his podcast is amazing. He does it with his wife, and like he's just so cool. And like Paul, you were talking about sharing info on set, which I do love. Deakins is like so generous to like podcast and share all this wealth of information. And hearing him talk, he's also just so chill about things. And I think that there's like a level of like not overthinking and going from the gut Deakins does that
I'm so glad you told me that because I watched his and his wife's Criterion Closet episode and listening to them talk. I was like, I could listen to them talk for hours. Now I get to.
Yeah. And there's like 100+ episodes.
Paul, what's your number 4?
My number 4 is going to be from The Prestige, and it's the Field of Light scene when he's going out there to check the light bulbs.
The Tesla, right? And David Bowie plays Tesla.
Oh my God, yeah. That movie was just, I don't know, just the dark like tones of it and just how they did the shots. It was such a beautiful film, especially that scene always sticks out.
For my number 4, I went with All the President's Men. Gordon Willis did the cinematography for it, but it's in particular, it's the 4 more years scene when Nixon just won and he's celebrating, and it's playing on the TV, and they're all chanting 4 more years, and you see Bob Woodward, played by Robert Redford, rest in peace, in the background, and like in the foreground is the TV, and we're watching that, and we're seeing him like unrelentlessly trying to work and try and uncover all of Watergate to take down the man who's getting 4 more years and being cheered on by everybody. There's just something about that. Pakula, who directed the movie, he just knew what he wanted. He knew how he wanted, and he knew how to frame a shot. So that's one that just always like sticks in my head, especially I think more so. So it was definitely I think everybody should. Number 3, what you got?
Okay, I'm gonna pick. I'm still considering which. I got like a backup list. I'm considering what's gonna make it because I'm realizing there's like multiple Roger Deakins movies on here. But anyway, I'm gonna go with not a Deakins movie here. Paris, Texas. It's a movie from 1984. And this is like a really random movie to pull sometimes because not a lot have seen it, I don't think, but it's beautifully shot. Robert Mueller shot the movie. He's a great cinematographer. He shot like Blue Velvet, stuff like that. But it's this desert movie. It's a very quiet movie. It's a drama, mostly about fatherhood. The sky who barely, all this desert stuff. They're just beautiful on its own, but what really makes the movie stick out in my mind are all these scenes that happen at gas stations in the desert in these scenes, because there's something that, and actually Deakins explains this better in one of his podcasts, but there's something they did with the film stock that they used and the chemicals they used to like process the film, in which the fluorescent lights gas stations turned into this like UFO teal kind of color. So there's all these like night scenes at like the end of dusk, twilight, in the desert with these like UFO green gas stations that are just like breathtaking looking. Every one of those scenes I could just like watch the whole movie of that movie for those.
I would never even thought of Paris, Texas, and yeah, you're right. It's such a beautiful shot film.
Really, really pretty. And it's Harry Dean Stanton, too, in the lead role.
Phenomenal. Oh, yeah. I was just talking about him this past Saturday because we were reviewing Pretty in Pink, and I was like, that's an actor who I like. His caliber of acting in that movie shocks me. Not that he shouldn't take it or anything.
Yeah,
I'm not putting it down, but I'm just saying, like, you watch like an Andrew McCarthy or John Cryer, and you're like, but Harry Dean Stanton's giving a performance here that's like blowing everybody away, and it's like it just did not feel. He definitely blessed John with his performance on that one.
Anything he was in, even if he was doing very little,
he could do a lot with a little.
Yeah.
So all right, what you got for me, Paul? What's your number 3?
My number 3 is the first time I felt awkward watching a movie, and that's when they do the close-up for
Barbed Wire.
I almost said Bateman. No, Psycho. When he's peeping on her undressing out of the room. That's the first close-up shot scene that I ever was like, I feel dirty watching do this. And to me, that's just one of those shots where I'll never forget how it looks or how I felt the first time I watched it.
That's such a great scene. And Hitchcock was
Yeah.
genius.
It's my favorite Hitchcock movie.
I think Rope edges it out for me, and maybe Rear Window, but that's just
Rear
personal.
Window, man.
I like Rear Window because it feels like a play.
Yeah, definitely.
And I'm a theater kid, so like I always love that vibe. With my number 3, I went with Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers battle, Helm's Deep.
Oh, yeah.
That whole, the night, the blues they're using, plays off the stone so perfectly. Like everything about that scene, just you feel immersed in it. Watch, it's just crazy. And the performance, truly fantastic. All right, what is
Nice.
so good? And that was Andrew Lesney who did that, and he did all of them, and he did the Hobbit movies.
Did he shoot all the Lord of the Rings movies, or just that one?
All 3 Lord of the Rings.
All three Lord of the Rings. Okay.
And all three
Hobbits.
of the Hobbit. He also did King Kong. He did a lot of Peter Jackson.
King Kong's great. There should not have been 3 Hobbits by
No. That should have been 1, maybe 2.
They get to the end of the second movie and there's like 10 pages, and they're like, we can do this, but we'll stretch this out.
Yeah. Oh my god. All right. What's your number 2?
Oh man, I'm still like debate. I have like a list of 4 more that I'm like debating what to. I'm just gonna throw out. I'm gonna save my number 5, but I'm gonna go really random with this one. Actually, Mandy. It's a Panos Cosmatos movie. It's shot by Benjamin Loeb. Super wild, psychedelic, hyper-violent Nicolas Cage movie. That's like part like really art house movie and then part like just like trashy mute mayhem movie. And it's just visually it's astounding. It's one of my favorite. Bathed in like non-motivated color all the time, and I'm just so
love it. I think that might have been my favorite favorite movie of 2018. It was just so good.
Oh, me too. I was playing with a band at the time, and we were in LA, just finished a tour, and we were like chilling, and that movie had just opened, and like we knew nothing about it. We were like, let's go see this movie because we got nothing to do for the first time. And we go see Mandy, and like zero frame of reference with this movie. It's like one of the best theatrical.
I love them, man. Yeah. What's your number 2, Paul?
My number 2, it's going to be kind of the scene right behind me. It's going to be Nope. It's going to be the night shots they were able to do with, because God, blessed, man.
I'm so
I
glad you
can't
said
stop
that, because
watching
that was
movie.
one of the ones that I was debating if it's gonna make my list or not. Is Hoytema's cinematography for that? Thank you. Now I don't have to feel regretful for not saying that movie.
That's a great choice, though.
It is, because like even when I saw the trailers for Nope, and it was like a wide western night shot where you can see like a mile in distance, and I'm like, what the hell is this? It's like, yeah, it's great. What a crazy movie. I can't believe they didn't even win like best cinematography that year. I'm not like a big Oscars person, to be honest with you, but like it's still like amazing to me that they invented a new technique for shooting movies, blending like film infrared to shoot those night shots. Academy Award.
I know.
The dude way to shoot. Give him anything.
Yep.
They did fantastic. That movie was great, but horror never gets respect.
It's true.
Yeah.
That's fact.
My number 2, actually, Roger Deakins is the one I went with, and I think this is the one that kind of woke me up to him, and who I know I had seen a lot of his movies before, but then after that I was like, I need to make sure I see Roger Deakins, and that is Skyfall.
Oh,
The fight scene with the sniper,
cool.
the colors, just the night, how everything is reflecting off of the windows, but just it on purpose in just a beautiful way. And then like in the background, they're fighting in the foreground. In the background, you have this dinner going on. Everything about it is just and Deakins just nailed it.
I forgot that he shot that. I'm gonna slip my other ones in by piggybacking your guys' things all the time, because the other Deakins one that I'm not, Blade Runner 2049. I think the color, like what he does with colors, and that is like really astounding. Versus like the very first scene, which is like all this like saturated gray. Man, Deakins.
He is, yeah, he did. That almost made. There's a lot of his movies that almost made my list, but I wanted to go with the one that really like woke me up to him.
Yeah, that's cool.
And Skyfall, still the best James Bond, but. We're on to our final number 1. What do you got? What's your number 1?
All right, I had to save this one because it's like one of my all-time favorite shot movies. And you just said horror gets no respect. Straight up horror. 1974 original Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Daniel Pearl was the cinematographer. They shot it on like no budget 16 millimeter camera. But I still think it's one of the most beautiful horror movies of the 70s. Like it's all this magic hour. Like you feel the heat of the day in that whole movie. It's like really aggressive. You get these insane macro shots where you like see the veins inside the girl's eyeball. Like really well shot movie, especially for the butt. I still like look to scenes, and I feel like I learned something every time I watched that. They brought Daniel Pearl back too to shoot the Texas Chainsaw remake, and he's got an amazing shot in there too. Like he says that in the first one that the shot that made his career is that, if you guys are as familiar as I am with the movie, it's a dolly shot where it goes under the swing and it sort of moves up to the house, right? So that's a famous shot in the first. Second one, he's got like a kind of a more impressive shot after the hitchhiker blows her brains out in the car. The camera goes from inside the car in a tight 5 shot. The camera goes through the gunshot wound, through the head, through the back of the windshield, into a wide shot where the characters come out and frame up a wide 5. So it goes from like in 2 different locations, like from a tight 5 to a wide 5. Crazy. So like I think Daniel Pearl brings a lot of class to like what he does, and which is like important when you're making like a kind of a movie like Texas Chainsaw, which does tote the line between like art house, grindhouse, trashy. Is this artsy? Which I think the cinematography kind of puts it firmly in the art world.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I think everything about that movie, the tone of it, makes it like more of an art house.
I cannot agree with you more. I'm not even a huge fan of that movie, but the cinematography in it is beautiful. Like, not that I'm not a fan of it. I am a fan of it, but I like the second one, and that's personal. Like, I love the zaniness of the second one.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And it's like a total opposite approach to like everything. Obviously same director, but he was just like, everything's different. Like none of this like really natural light. Like everything's like green and blue, and it's like coming from who knows. But it's
it's a bonkers movie. It's not compared to the first one. Nowhere near. It does not have that gravitas of the first one. But it was
Mosley alone. Chop Top, so good.
What about you, Paul? What's your number 1?
Man, it was hard. So I'm gonna give 2 shout outs. So I'm very sorry.
Oh boy.
One just has super deep meaning to me. It's the movie The Fountain, because it already has deep place for me. Beautiful. Yeah. But that car scene where they just panned the camera out just right like that and just upside down. I'll never forget the first time seeing that. I was like, that looks awesome. I want to know how to do that. But the second tie for that, it's actually going to be a horror. It's going to be Hereditary.
Nice.
Mm-hmm. I love the coloring in every shot they do for that. They do it perfect, just dark enough. And yeah,
I mean, I know I've argued Ari Aster before, but that man knows how to make a movie look good. He does. So I will not argue with you on that one.
Even the movies I don't like of his, I'll never say they weren't good movies. I'll never say they weren't beautifully shot. They absolutely were, even if I didn't necessarily love them.
Oh yeah. No, that. Oh my God, especially that. I will say, with if you haven't seen it, cinematography wise, if you haven't seen it and you like, I know a lot of people also like The Fall,
Yep.
which is a fantastic.
Makes me cry every time, but yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I mean, anything with good cinematography is generally going to make.
God bless, man.
Nothing wrong
The
with
hero
that
is a
at all.
coward. God damn.
Well, my number one is also another DP, Dean Kundi, who had so many choices. I had to go based on feel, and that was the scene I've talked about on the show before. So anybody that listens knows the scene that made me get into filmmaking. It's the Brachiosaurus. First time we see a dinosaur in dress, when they pull up in that Jeep and you just see it. And I realize that's the visual effects, but the entire framing around it and everything in that scene is just drop dead. And every time I watch it, it like pulls. It may not be the best, so.
I thought about Jurassic Park 2 when I was thinking about Cal. I didn't realize that was Dean Kundi. Because he was like John Carpenter a lot. He shot
Yeah.
I know he shot
Halloween. He was The Thing. He did pretty much everything. Back to the Future. So he worked with Zemeckis too. I think that's when he started going in with Spielberg a little bit more. But I remember when we did. I was part of Outpost 31. I guess I am, but Outpost 31, which is a group, and we had dinner with Dean.
Wow.
And I was just everyone's asking him questions about The Thing. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want to know, but I'm like, how is this the only thing we're asking him about? Look at the man's resume. It's like, I want to ask every question about Back to the Future, Jurassic. I'm just going down the line. He just really was just a fantastic guy. Like, you two at a dinner together, that'd be a hell of a talk.
Oh my God. I would love me. I think he got into all this stuff, really lucked into it. I mean, not luck, talented, but he was one of the first guys to really early Steadicam operate when that tech kind of hit. So that's everything John Carpenter's is like Steadicam stuff's kind of like right of that.
Just fantastic, one of my favorites. But that scene alone, that's our top.
That's like
five.
A movie magic moment, That's like an awe-inspiring movie, definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just oh my God, I was like 11 and I just felt like I was lost. I went home and what did I write, Paul?
Yeah,
Jurassic Campground.
Yes, you did.
They still want to read it. I'm not letting you do it. But yeah. That's our top five. Thanks for tuning in. But we're going to get into talk about Jordan. First, I want to talk about, you have The Only Ones out now. Now, can you tell us where it's available?
Yeah, you can rent it on Amazon Prime. You can rent it on Apple TV, Go at Home, Vudu, and there's Blu-ray and DVD also on Prime.
That's fantastic. Guys, check out The Only Ones. It's very good. And if you love horror, you're going to really... So I want to... that was you directed that one as well. It's not your first time directing. You direct quite a bit. I know we're talking about cinematography, but can you tell us a little bit about the process of how that came to be, and tell us a little bit more about the movie, so that way get people excited?
It came to be with a good friend of mine, Matt Byrne, came to me as I really non-slash that sort of built on existing things we love, but did something really really fun, and we kind of joked about it a little bit, wondered if it could act. But then I started screenplaying it and sort of working up stuff and realizing that there'd be a cool way to make a slasher. My sort of love letter to slasher that would do this sort of thing where it subverts all the stuff that you're expect to see out of a slasher movie while also setting you up with things that feel familiar, in order to pull the rug out. Ultimately doing something that's really a character-driven movie, sort of a character drama that sort of wears horror movies hat a lot of time. And we wanted to make a movie where the characters found destroy themselves rather than having some sort of external villain come in, them off one by one, which I think is more realistic in reality anyway. We're far more like destroy our own lives. Some like Michael or Jason type character come do it for us. So this is a movie about characters who set into motion a snowballing effect of events that result in their own paranoia and distrust sort of self-destructing. And yeah, that's what the movie's about. And as their deaths sort of unfold, we learn more about the characters and their... And
now, with the film, stepping into directing a feature. Now, is this your first feature?
It's actually my second.
Your second feature. All right. What was your first feature? Because I was looking.
Yeah, it's hidden. It's a hard one to find. It's something I made during film school. It's called The Red Effect. It's a drama. Also, it's sort of like social relevant kind of racial drama set in South. Sort of shot it shortly after the Trayvon Martin incident, and it was kind of inspired by that. But that was actually the first thing I had made. I really hadn't done short thing at that. I was done music video, but I sort of fell into a production while I was in film for my grad project. So that it's out there. It got bought by Urban Movie Network, offshoot of Time. Now it's on somewhere. It's certainly somewhere. It's probably not the easy to find. But after that, I sort of pivoted and went back to doing shorts because I do something that I felt my thing. Like this, there's a lot of me in that first movie, but it was also script was already when I came in, and there was heavy rewrites that we were doing. So it was like a thing already in motion, a train a roll got on. But with everything I made since then, it's stuff come up from the ground up. Like 3 was the first one I teen. 2016. Crypt picked that up, and it's still on there. And yeah, this is a feature I've been working towards for a while. I've done a couple other shorts that are going to come out later this year in an anthology. But yeah, been a passion project for about 2.5 years.
So what was it like having directed two features, especially as far apart as you have? Like, what can you say you've learned from that first one getting to the second? That because like starting out in music and then everything. I love that.
Everything.
But like when we're talking to newer filmmakers and such that are coming up, like what advice, like going from that first one to the only, would you say you picked up along the way that was invaluable?
Man, I joked when I said everything, but honestly, I kind of feel like I went in so ignorant to so many things. Film, I knew what I wanted it to do with it. I knew what I want to feel like. I knew what but I was relying on a lot of help, certain aspects of production. So directing performances is one thing, but directing for camera is all different thing. So like I was directing performances and less considered lighting, block, camera, stuff like that. So it was a lot more like almost directing theater and relying on other people to pick up those elements. Where after that, I trained crew person entirely for a long time. Sound guy in a lot of camera department, camera operator, and all, you learn stuff in all of us. Learn how to create that are more dynamic, that flex, but not just doing that, but be able to do that quickly is like something that takes time to develop. Be on set, you got to make it fast as possible. So going into the only ones, I was the cinematographer and the director, which was like something obviously I could do to save money, whole department budgetary back, but also it was like a speed thing. We could move so much faster because I didn't have to communicate a lot of those because I already what I wanted, what I was going to cut and how the edit. And the only ones we were able to move very fast for that we had as many other departments.
Because you were also the writer on the as well too. Did you work on any other aspects of it? Because I know with cinematography, that's pulling a lot with cinematography, directing, and you've written.
I mean, that's how we made the movie happen. It was like anything we could do ourselves. Spent hours casting and watch. Obviously, the scripting process, pre-production, gags in there that involve practical effects that through development. So I like draw a lot of pictures, and Joan Jones is my effects artist. Her and I go back and forth, like sending drawings, and as she works up stuff, and we have to work. Like we're taking load off other people just to save money because volunteering our own time, building prop, getting wardrobe ready, late night wagons, late nights doing all sorts of things.
One of the things I do love that you said coming up is like you got into the crew, and I think that's important whenever you're doing filmmaking. Like try and do as many crew jobs as you can. You learn everything on set as you go, right? Mm-hmm. So what were some of the tips through that helped that you used while making the only ones? Like maybe you mentored under somebody or just things you've seen across the way that kind of like were sparked when you were doing your own.
I was really inspired by watching camera operators working on a movie called Terrace last night at Terrace, and they had two camera operators on rigs were kind of like had only been popular in the past prior to that, and those things are a picture strap around your body, over your head, come over, and they sort of come down. Camera suspend wire in front of contraption over top of your head, that thing kind of opened up a whole lot of doors to me because I'm very tall. So if I have a shoulder rig, I'm kind of above too many people's eye lines. Especially if we have short actors, so everything's like looking down and it's kind of not. I needed something where I could shoot comfortably, like at my chest height, and that thing stabilizes the camera really well. It put it right where I need it, so almost all a shot. So there's a whole bunch of like I wanted there to be a shake. I wanted only very specifically on tripod. And having that thing just like dangling there, I could like my hands could be free, so I could sort of point and direct and talk camera. Really like logistically and ergonomically and just everything. It kind of opened up a lot of creativity for set. I could just move places, try things.
Nice, very nice. I like that a lot. Well, with that though, so like movement, is that a big thing for you in your films? Like you like the movement more than staying in place?
Even if it's not shaking, I like Paul can tell you for every use I could to set up the slider dot. Always looking for an excuse to like turn 3 shots into one moving shot, or something like that. Where which I'm a big into that on sets. If I can take a shot list and turn like 3 shots into one dynamic moving shot, that's always kind of green. So I'm always looking for ways to even if it's stable, it's kind of moving through thing, pushing past thing, or then I'm rig.
Do you have a signature shot? We know a lot of filmmakers do. They have that shot that shows up in every one of their. Are you like adopting one, or is there one that you could see yourself maybe incorporating it?
I don't know. I definitely find myself going for this like tighter close-up a lot that I kind of go to, which I like a lot. But on only ones I was doing this bird's eye shot at a time, hadn't done a ton of before, and I was able to very specific emotional in the movie where we're looking down and it'd be like long extended takes of like sort of pushing in or pulling back from directly above them, and I was really liking those. So I could see myself.
I mean, I love the bird's eye view. I've seen the movie, and I know your shot, and that would be a good one to say the least. What are some filmmakers or cinematographers, I should say, that we've talked about 5 that you really like? but what are some that like maybe you have to go to kind of like get your creative juices flowing when you're piecing together shots for placements?
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say, if I'm blocking for a scene or we're getting ready for a movie, it's not as much going back. Like in the early stage, if we're making, like we just did a pilot, Dark Crime, so I was going back and I was watching some stuff that was like that, but there wasn't a ton of that where I'm that too. It was less of like taking the screen and translating it, because your location kind of, so we were in certain spaces that were big, small, but there was a lot of busy act, small. So really just about where you were at, and not blessed with like tons and tons of budgetary resource space out, have ability out of the world.
That's fair. No, it's a good point too. In situations like that, like you filmed a lot of different genres, so to speak. Especially we're talking about TV and it being a thriller, but you've done horror, you've done music videos, you've done comedies, things like that. So dramas. How do you, when you're going into each genre, how do you tend to step into that role as a cinematographer? Like maybe with a comedy. I know it's usually upbeat, right? Like what is your idea or your mindset going?
Well, it's always sort of talking to the director. It's sort of where the director, because you can shoot the same scene way. So it's always try to get what the director wants it to feel like, and that's always the question. I usually ask less about and that sort of tells me in a better. A lot of times, if the director is not a cinematographer, way to communicate. Anyway, you can get that feeling, and then you do reference times like a couple years ago, Western, and it was sort of meant to be this old style of dramatic more than like an action-packed modern shoot 'em. So I went back and I watched a lot of older Western, and I do really enjoy Westerns, but I was watching a lot of the older ones, older than I usually watch, and I was noticing across the board there was like a lot less cutting. There's a lot more just wide shots that just let people be in shots and talk and not cutting that. It's a lot less going on as far as like shots and cuts. So we tried to mimic that when we went on set, and that was a specific thing with the director and I talked about. Well, let's do what they feel like that sometimes act stylistically do, but we'd have to remind ourselves, is that what those movies would have done? And sometimes no, they'd probably do it this way. We're like, okay. So it's always what best serves the.
Okay, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And to think about, so like the landscape is always important in something like a West that, and I'm assuming with the lingering shots that's sort of like what they're going for to add that into it. I'm asking. Yeah. I figure you know better than I do.
I think so, but I think also in just older movies in general, you'll find a lot more of that. These Hitchcock movies and other old black, which I love. A lot of times, look at the movies and look at the scenes, and it may just in a single wide sometimes, and people just talk, and then they may move around in the scene, and the camera may dolly over. But there's not like all this extensive cutting and coverage in like modern movies. In modern movies, sometimes the average amount of time that you see or cut on frame second for another cut happens. It's pretty pacey, but that's kind of what we're used to. But watch these old movies, you realize you're like, well, I'm not bored, and it doesn't feel like they're lacking. We just try to be conscious of that, which I think makes people think on your toes a little bit better. It's like there's less of a safety net. You're doing less coverage.
Is there and when you're doing that, and we're talking about with the cinematography, is there are times like you put together a shot and maybe you've seen cuts added to it later that you're like, I wouldn't have cut that. I would have let that stick.
Yeah, but you have to definitely you have to like be able to like separate yourself from stuff sometimes when it's like, I'm going to shoot it, passed off to editors and other people to do with what's not, especially like as a director, I always think about those things. But I try to know my role. If I'm not in a position to like give those later, try to maybe, and it happens more often than you'd think, where I'm like, wow, I'm really not happy how that ended up looking or something like that. And I know it wasn't a camera edit. It's just, that's the nature of the beast. You're not direct, but it's always great when you are in those productions and they do ask you those questions in post and bring you like, look, it was great. But then I just have to remind myself that that's why I make my own movies, so I can control all the aspects of those movies. So I don't need to be like an insane control freak for everybody else.
Hey, you know what? That's where you cleanse it a little bit. You're like, all right, I'll do what you want.
You try to do the best job you can in the role you are assigned in the job, and offer your 2 cents anytime you can make better without overstepping your bound.
Well, what's a genre maybe you haven't worked on yet, or maybe not a genre, but like a type of film, or even a look for a film that you would really hope that it's a project comes along where you can come.
Yeah, I've never made a sci-fi. I've really done anything in the sci-fi realm, which obviously that's just so like the Western was really fun because everything on camera just looks cool. It's not just a hammer; it's a real old hammer that looks cool. Like everything is just kind of fun to interact with. And I feel like the same way about sci-fi because it's just like it's all going to be like cool sci-fi sets and like put lights in crazy places, and I just fun sandbox to be in. Nice. Especially for a cinematographer. But so if anyone out there is making a sci-fi, let me know. We'll shoot it.
love that. All right, let me ask you this though: what's some sci-fi films that like you gravitate to? Darker, maybe the lighter, more colorful.
Yeah, the dark. I'm not actually like a humongous sci-fi person. I do really like sci-fi, but it's not necessarily my favorite thing. You know, the Alien franchise favorites. I love Alien. I mean, I really love those movies. I really loved Romulus. But those really tote the line between is this a horror film, sci-fi film, kind of both. But like sci-fi, you know, I really like dramatic sci-fi, like Gattaca, all-time favorite. You know, all drama, but in a sci-fi world. And I already said Blade Runner 2049. Both, you know, that's
phenomenal.
great sci-fi. Like, I mean, but all of these are kind of blending, right? Like those are sci-fi noir, and like the aliens are sci-fi horror. So I think like sci-fi is just a great thing to twist with someone.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I love that answer. I would love to see you do a sci-fi based on your work. I've seen it. That could be.
Tell
we need
your
to find
sci-fi friend, filmmaker.
Alien Earth season 2. Hire this man. Get him on a few episodes. He already loves Alien. He knows it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put me in there. Put me in coat.
I love it. So you shot TV. You shot movies. Now I know you have more of an affinity for films, which I get. But with TV and sort of like over the past 15 years or so, maybe a little bit more, there's been like such a surge in TV shows with phenomenal cinematography. And do you see yourself, even as a director and a writer, maybe, going all in on a TV show at some point?
I mean, I could see it. I think some of the most rewarding experience I've had, you have longer time to tell deeper stories, deeper into characters, so a lot of the reward can be great. Yeah. And also maybe you can try crazier stuff in a series. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's more room for their weird self mediums. Like, I thought Alien Earth was certainly like... I wasn't crazy about everything they did, but I was like, bravo for like going into some totally fresh territory. And I don't think have a tougher time selling that as but series and crazy stuff. I think it's October basically now, and I watch a Mike Flanagan project like every October. Haunting of Hill House, right, is like one of the greatest things. Midnight Mass is like, if there's a one thing that I'm like jealous that I didn't make it would probably be Midnight Mass.
Such a great show.
It really hits home for me in a lot of ways, narratively. So, and just cinematography, it's great too. Also, like as a Maryland person, it's based on an island on the East Coast that's sort of getting smaller each year away. So it's very, very thick sandbox. I'd so of it. They're on par with movies, all that stuff now.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And so I want to talk to you a little bit about Future Phantoscope, your production company. You just started this over the how long ago? Maybe about 3 years ago.
Yeah, so it's kind of weird. I had a different company for a long, long time that I started while I was just getting out of grad. It was another studio that was mostly audio, band time. It sort of transitioned into film, and then it was doing way more stuff with my partner Raven. Old name really feel like a film studio name. It didn't feel like what we were doing anymore, so we changed the name to Phantoscope. Birthed about closer to 2 years now. During the only one that now our production company film. Last year, besides the only hero, the Western director, our band, we got more stuff coming. But yeah, we do music videos too, commercial work. We go to university, fun stuff, and program a lot of different stuff.
Right, that's fantastic. I'm really congratulations. I'm really happy to hear that. Thanks, you've been doing so well, and seeing like the accolades you've been getting, well deserved for sure.
Thanks,
it's always a joy to see, like, and especially like you're supposed to be on last month, and you actually said to me, and in such a beautiful and gracious way, I appreciate it. But you're like, I'm really sorry, a job came up, and I'm like, no, man, it's like filmmakers work. It's a good thing. I love it, and especially talented ones. So I'm so happy for you.
Thanks.
And I can't wait to see
it's
what
a blessing. I mean, also it's a curse to be freelance because like when stuff comes up, you're like, well, I'm doing that now.
Yeah.
I like not having a set schedule, but occasionally it can cause problems.
No, I get it, but I just can't wait to see what else you're going to be working on. Paul, you have anything you want to ask for? We move on to the recommendations.
Man, I got a million questions.
Go for it.
I guess the first thing I wanted to say is, I'm glad you guys were able to be put on Vudu, because the other day I was with the friends and they're like, let's find something to watch, and I'm big on my Vudu. And I was like, holy shit, the only ones is on here. I was like, no, we're buying this right now and watching it. And they're like,
nice.
What is it? And I was like, just watch it. And they absolutely loved it.
Oh, that's great. It's best if you tell people almost nothing. I truly believe the only ones is best going in if you know everything. And if you know a little bit, then in the first 5 minutes, hopefully you think you're in the wrong movie.
There you go. I love it. I guess since you were talking about sci-fi and saying you kind of wanted more of almost a dramatic side of sci-fi, does that mean you would, if you could film your own thing, you'd like to do something more like on the lines of like The Arrival or movies like that.
Love Arrival. Yeah. I mean, that's great. What a wild. Yeah, I love that kind of stuff. That was a great Annihilate. Great. I don't think, like, as a writer, I have like 4 feature script, but none of them are sci-fi. I don't know necessarily if that's like where my mind right, but I would love to.
Okay.
I love it.
That.
I would love to see that. I really would.
Yeah.
We got to get somebody sci-fi movie. Come on, hire this cinematographer. He'll take and director. He'll take it both on.
Just make a movie. Let's make a movie.
Yes. Yeah. I and with all of that, like, I gotta ask: is there a? How do I ask this? Because I don't want to put anything down, but like, it's one of those, like, if you could have worked on, and we'll do cinematographer because I'm sure we'll bring you back for others, other aspects of filmmaking. But as a cinematographer, is there any movie in the past that you and let's go back a little bit. I want to go back more classic, not more read. Is there any movie, like, let's say 30 years or longer, that would be like, yeah, I would work this. I mean, like, you would love to have worked on, or would, go back in time to try and get the job.
In this Bill and Ted scenario you've laid out, am I taking the job of cinematographer, or am I like a PA and I just get to, like, wide-eyed watch this movie happen in front of me?
Oh no, you're taking the job as cinematographer, and you got to put your spin on it.
That's tough because, like, you don't want to. I don't necessarily want to pick one of my favorite movies because I'm going to go back and undo one of my favorite movies by inherently doing it slightly different. So I can't, like, Butterfly Effect, favorite film out of existence.
You can fix a film.
Oh man, you've opened up a whole. Now that's the way to do it. You go back in time and fix a wrong.
That's always been like my argument for remakes.
Yeah.
Like, stop remaking the good stuff that we love. Remake the crap and rewrite it into something good.
That's what I always. Yeah, I say the same thing. Remake something that was, like, not great. It could only go up, because if you're just gonna remake something everyone loves, it can only go down. You're not gonna make something like, when does that ever happen? I mean, besides, like, some class fly. I'm also just avoiding your question.
It's fair.
Fair enough. I won't make it.
I don't know.
But I'll tell you what. I did ask you for some movie recommendations. Any John for me, for definitely for Paul to watch,
Cool.
and for all of our fans. What are some movie recommendations you think we should absolutely watch?
Mostly got spooky, weird. So first one, Bone Tomahawk. Have you seen this?
Yeah, brutal film. I love it.
Horror Western. Like, I have a script for horror Western that's like my dream movie I want to make, and I feel like we are more horror West world to each other. And Bone Tomahawk, great because it takes both of those genres seriously. It is a really hard horror movie when it's doing that. And when it's doing the Western thing, it's committing to do it. So that's definitely up there. This one's sort of a Western, too. Dead Man by Jim Jarmusch. Have you seen that movie?
Yep, Johnny Depp. Yeah.
Black and white 90s Western with Johnny Depp, with Neil Young doing, like, a live score on, like, a guitar. It's like a weird spirit journey Western. Super kind of a bizarre movie, but I love it. It also has
great
a great little role
cinematography.
Yeah, it is. It's great cinematography. Crispin Glover has a great little role in it, and I love everything. In fact, the next one I picked is a Crispin Glover. So Willard.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
It's a remake of a 70s movie. It's one of the very few Crispin Glover led movies that it's a great movie for spooky. Rat, about a guy and his rat. And I already said Midnight Mass, so that's a great one to watch. The last one I'm gonna throw at you, totally screwball left one. I love watching old, like, black and white classic horror movies around this time of year. And I love Vincent Price, really schlock, like William Castle movies. This one being a William Castle movie, I'm pretty sure. The Tingler.
Oh, yeah.
I love The Tingler. It's crazy. It's like there's this great part in the middle of The Tingler. Like, so William Castle was known for having all sorts of schlocky, like, in real world kind of gimmicks to scare you during the movie watching experience. And in the middle of the movie, the Tingler's creature goes into an actual movie theater and shuts off all the lights, and the movie screen just goes black, and it's just screams. It's just people screaming, and it's just like, you could tell that this was totally meant to, like, freak people out in a drive-in theater in, like, the time period. And it's so around this time of year.
They would even put actors in certain seats and put little buzzers in their seat to shock them, to get them to scream.
Yeah, he would do, like, it was like early 40X what they were doing with that stuff.
Oh my God, he was so great. And if anybody ever gets a chance, watch those movies because they're all fantastic choices.
Yeah.
I will only say this to certain people about Bone Tomahawk: if you're not into, like, maybe the more gruesome, even a cerebral type of film, like, this is going to be this gets pretty.
Yeah.
But
it
this
goes
one
to like a
is one of
10 at the end. There's a moment that's like absolutely like, if you were concerned that this was maybe not a horror movie, there's a moment that solidifies that real hard.
Yeah, yeah. And if you're not up for it, it's gonna hit you.
But
in a weird
it's
way.
like the cast is amazing. It's like Kurt Russell, Richard Jenkins, who is like, earlier you were talking about stop it because this man's doing a performance. Richard Jenkins is one of those guys. Every time he's in a movie, shut up. He makes every movie better.
And it doesn't matter what genre. Comedy, drama, whatever. Like
Cabin in the Woods, he's hilarious.
Oh my god.
Let Me In and Shape of Water, he's like the saddest part of the entire movie. So like whatever he's in, he's kind of the comedic relief of Bone Tomahawk in a weird way.
He's so good in that. Step Brothers. You know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it just like because like he always plays a stoic character in his dramas, and then in Step Brothers he just like pretend to be a dinosaur. It's like, come on, Richard Jenkins, stop,
stop being such a treasure.
You're just great. But I really appreciate those. Are great choices. I know Paul wrote them down, so he'll be watching them, and I want full reviews on them, Paul. I want to hear it.
Heck,
but I
have you seen any of those, Paul?
Yeah, I've seen all of them.
Oh, okay.
And I'll watch them again. I'll absolutely watch them again. No problem.
I figured Bone Tomahawk was definitely something, but these are all spooky, so I knew we were kind of getting there.
Yeah, they're all pretty spooky. Dead Man's the least spooky, but it's kind of just a weird vibe.
I like that one. And out of all the Jarmusch movies, he's weird.
Yeah,
I always appreciate him, but that's my favorite. That's the most coherent, in my opinion.
That's strange because it is kind of one of the more coherent Jim Jarmusch films. And like, he doesn't have a style so much. I mean, like, his style's kind of like,
it's just absurdity.
Yeah, I don't know what his style is. Like, some of them, I don't know, but Dead Man is just something special.
It's something I always appreciate.
Yeah, I agree.
That absurdity. He's the type of filmmaker we can get behind here, Snob. And I love that. But I want to say, I thank you so much for coming on, talking to us about cinematography. We'd love to have you back on down in the future. Jackson RC Aviation says an aviation movie of some sort. That could be interesting.
Yeah, Snakes on a Plane.
I love it.
That's an aviation movie. I don't know why that's the first one that popped up.
I can see it now.
Dunkirk.
Koala bears on a plane. Do it.
That should there's a double feature. Dunkirk and Snakes on a Plane.
Oh my god.
Brain on, brain off.
Tom Hardy and then Samuel L. Jackson. You can't go wrong. But we want to say thank you so much for jumping in, hanging out with us, and it's such a great time. And you're doing so many awesome things. Again, go check out Camp Nightmare podcast. I went to the movies again, and also go check out The Only Ones, which is out now. It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's perfect for this time of year too. And yes, buy your copy.
Buy a Blu-ray, and if you guys rent or buy it on Amazon, please leave us a review on Prime. That's like legitimately a huge thing you can do for any indie movie you watch. Really, like it helps us indie movies get seen amongst sea of movies with larger marketing. Nice.
Perfect. I want to say thank you again, and we're going to let you go now. But is there anything you want to promote or put out there before you get going?
If you just head over to our website, futurefantoscope.com, Phantoscope is spelled like phantoms with a PH. All sorts of links to all kinds of our work, short films, pictures and stuff are all on there. You can also sign up for our email screenings and film festival shoots and all kinds of stuff.
And go down below into the description if you want the links because they're there. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate you. And we're going to let you go tonight. But happy Halloween and keep giving us all this entertaining stuff.
Happy Halloween, guys.
Take care, sir. Bye.
Yeah, man.
Oh, my God. I love
I just want to get a camera right now. I'm just going to go outside. I'm not even going to lie.
I'm not. I'm going to hire him because he knows what he's doing. Listen,
I
I've done cinematography, but not on that. Like the things that go into it, the thing is just truly like it blows you away. Like I love it, but like my passion was always like producing. Like I like the numbers. I like the writing when I was writing. Like that was where it was for me. Because God, I do respect photographer, and you got one in Jordan Miller. You're going to see big things from.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Guys, it's that time, and before we get going, of course, we have to talk about not Mick's movie picks. All through September and October, it's Sturdy's movie picks, and this time we got one from '90 to be part of our episode of Does It Suck Next Tuesday, and one from 1995 as part of our classic film reviews, and that is Blood Moon, which is an Australian horror film, and let me tell you, it's worth the watch. It's not great, but it's worth the watch. I did a full review of it. Again, it's coming out for Does It Suck? I get more in depth. And then, of course, one of my absolute favorites, Demon Knight, 1995. It's Tales from the Crypt episode. Great movie. If you love horror, you love that bonkers, kind of goes all over the place, great practical effects, this is the movie for you, 100%. But, Paul, what do you think about these movies? Have you seen Blood Moon?
Yeah, I've seen them both.
Well. There's a Blood Moon from 1997.
I've probably seen the 90s. Let me watch the 1990. Make sure I watch that, and then I'll tell you if I've seen it.
Okay. Yeah, because I know I talked to a few people since Sturdy gave me this movie, and it was just one of those things where it was like, that's a different movie, and it is a bit of a trip. So that is, of course, our Sturdy's film pick. Now we got to get to our film definitions with Mick. I got my book. We do this every episode. What do you think we're going to do today?
I think we should do one with an M for Matt, since Matt Brandt. Matt was.
I'm going to do
Matt.
one with C for cinematography.
You said
I already had it open to the page.
I tried.
You did try. I'll give you that. You kind of glossed over the topic and said, we're taking care of the guy. No, I love it. This one's a little long. Buckle up. Here we go. Well, first, cinematographer. C, director of photography. We'll get to that in a minute. Cinematography. The word is derived from the cinematography of the Lumiere brothers and applies to 1, the photography of moving images in the making of a motion picture. Cinematography involves such technical concerns as camera, lens, film stock, and lighting, and such techniques as camera angle, distance, and movement. Significant to each image and the relation of the images are composition, form, color, light and dark, and motion. The term also applies to 2, the entire procedure for making motion pictures, which includes photography, processing, printing, and projection. The history of cinematography, inclusive of categories 1 and 2, can be traced from such early 19th century toys as the thaumatrope, the phenakistoscope, the stroboscope, and the zoetrope, which relied upon the viewer's persistence of vision to give animation to pictures seen one after the other. And from early experiments with photography by the Frenchman Nicephore, they can't have an easy name, Nepisi, and Louis Daguerre. God, French, what are you doing? Also in the early 19th century. All right, listen, cinematography. There's a lot more to that, but I'm not doing. I gave you the basic, the basic rundown of cinematography for that one, but that is the definition of cinematography. I also like to talk about a very special we're going to be having on October 18th, and that is our charity script read. If you guys know anything about us, we do Casters for a Cause, where sometimes we'll do long marathons. We call them fundathons for different charities, things like that. This one, we also do script reads. We've done some in the past, like Back Part 2, Christmas Vacation. I think we did Friday 13th, bunch of. This one's going to be Lethal Weapon 2. We're going to have a bunch of creators come on, read with us, have a good old time. It's always a lot of fun. We always get like really involved in it. It's going to be October 18th, Saturday at 7 p.m. And everything is going towards, when you donate, it's going to go towards the Family Drive-In. That's in Stevens City, Virginia. It's a fantastic drive-in that's been around since 1956. It's definitely want to save them, want to help them. The landowners want to sell the land out from under them, and they don't care if the drive-in sticks around. So the drive-in is trying to buy the land so they can be here for many years to come. So we want to save it, be there for them. I truly love it. I think the Family Drive-In, I think any institution like that is an Americana that we should be saving. These are traditions. Drive-in's been around a long time, and we should be there taking care of them. I love theaters as well. You know that. So guys, let's take care of the movies. Let's save the Family Drive-In. The links are down below. You can donate now to help them out. But make sure you stop by on October 18th and hang out with us while we do a script read of Lethal 2. And guys, I want to thank our sponsor of this episode, Lushrowan. Lushrowan. I always get it wrong. They sell custom shades and blinds for your home. You're going to send them what it looks like, and they're going to fit you with the perfect combination for your home to make it look fantastic. Go down below, get 20% off your order with our affiliate link down below, and I appreciate them bringing us on. You know, it's just really, truly fantastic. And our other sponsor, who will always be there for us, and I truly love them, Shenanigans Gentlemen's Club in Schenectady, New York. We love you. You're now on Uber Eats. Go get your wings. Hang out with them. Go go in and just see some great entertainment. We love you, Shenanigans. We are all about shit. Or any other strip club that wants to sponsor this. So. But Paul, before we go, you got anything you want to add, my friend?
Yeah, you guys, everyone's going through different things in life. Just smile at someone. Ask them what project they're working on. Ask them, what's their new goal in life. Try to switch it up. Just don't ask someone how their day is, or, oh, it's a bright day. Like really press someone, try to show that you care. Be a human to other humans, because we're all humans. It's tough. I know I had a long week. I know Mick had a long week too. You know, a smile and someone actually caring goes a very long. And then, you know, lastly, just keep watching, keep listening, keep loving the magic movies. Please send us movies to watch. You guys just don't do it. I need more movies to watch.
Yeah, I take requests. I have since day one of the Scene Snobs. If you have a request, message us. And I watched a 1992 WWE in the house at the request of one of our fans. And so, like, it's not off the table, but we'd prefer movies. You know, the only thing I won't do is I won't pick on, like, you know, maybe smaller budget independent movies. You know, filmmakers that are out there just trying doing their thing. Like, I think critiquing that and crapping on them, which seems to be the case, but we don't really. We always try to find at least some good. Not Paul. Paul hates him, but whatever.
Fair.
But if you guys do love movies, go check out right there. Subscribe over on our this QR code that StreamYard is supplying us with, and just hang out with us. We have movie content every day. It's not just on our social medias. Like, every day we have videos coming out over on our YouTube, all movie oriented. We try to have a good time, have a positive spin. We love feedback. We love when people get involved. If you're sending comments and such, we saw Matt, you joined in earlier, and we appreciate you. Watch Wicked with me, Paul. Watch Wicked with them. Wicked 2. You
okay. I'll watch it again. Oh,
he's going to watch it and then go see the second one. Going to do it, Matt.
There we go. Double feature, Matt. No problem. What's up?
We're hanging out. We're having a good old time. I'm not going to get deep. I'm not going to get crazy. We're going on our 6th-year anniversary of the Scene Snobs podcast on October 6th. We'll be celebrating on the 10th on that episode. Join in for that. That's going to be a fun time. Paul and I hanging out and having a good old time. We have lots of guests lined up for October 2. Join in for that. And then on, of course, on the 18th, we have our charity script read. Like I said, join in for that. But October 31st, 9 p.m., we are going to have some special people stop by, and we're going to be doing a movie trivia Royal Rumble of sorts. You get kicked off if you get one wrong. Last man standing, or last woman standing, or last they them standing. You take it all, and you, for a year, are crowned King Movie Snob, or Queen Movie Snob, or whatever you want to be called. And that's what you're going to get for the year until we do it again. But another thing, it's our 400th episode. It's been a long ride. I've loved every minute of it. I appreciate Paul being here with me week in and week out doing this. Always a good time. I want to say thank you to all of you for hanging out with us, just being awesome and cool, and just really bringing us into your home and connecting with us. That's an important thing. Like, connection, community. That's the most important thing. But until next time, I'm Mick Manhattan. That's producer Paul. We are the Scene Snobs. And until we see you again, make sure you take care of yourselves. That's important. Be kind, rewind, and I'll talk to you soon. Jesus loves you.